Let's get it.
An incarcerated individual at the California State Prison in Crozet, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. To accept this call, say or dial 5 now. Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
Hey, what's up, brother?
So this is a first for my show. I've never had a live call, man. I didn't expect it, but what's up, man? Salute. I'm glad you got to listen. I was just saying we're praying for you, and I was asking them to do the same thing. That, man, we need you to get to a better situation. We don't want to see nobody going through this bullshit.
That's two scoops from the AP calling in.
They're trying to break you mentally at this point. I mean, goddamn, you give somebody life without parole. What the fuck else do you need to do to them? Lock them in a little box for what? You know what I mean? It's not just don't make no sense, fam. Like,
yeah, I figured I heard you, man. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna give him a call and see what happens.
Damn, that's loud as shit.
You know I'm gonna answer. So I was just telling him what you said about Dubs. Of course, I didn't say any names or anything. Like, how would Scoops not know? But listen, how would Scoops not know his big homie, the ones that on his channel he claims that are legendary? He's scared to say their name, but he implies and infers to them constantly, right? He alludes to them. He uses their what would you say, mystique? He uses their image, their reputation to benefit him, right? And his own. You tell them what they said about him right now live.
So I set the record straight, bro. You know me. I don't mince words, man. So
I don't mince words.
I don't know who's saying what.
Goddamn mosquitoes.
But I'm GP active, been active 31 years, 27 in a home. I know Dubs' homeboys, his big homeboys, man. The OG homeboys, the ones he called. Listen, I know him personally. Been around him my whole prison career. I don't know Dubs. I ain't got a problem with Dubs myself.
Let's call and
But he's on here. I ain't got no problem with Dubs. Man, I got no problem with him. But he's on here. Not defending Dubs. I'm just saying the hypocrisy.
Your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
That's not even an issue. I don't even know the man. Never been in the same prison with him at the same time. You know,
Yeah.
They said, this is what they said, man. That he checked out, locked it up, and debriefed. And that he no good. That's what they told me when I asked them about the man on YouTube.
So, as you guys just heard, the legends, right? As Dubs called them, the senores, Mexican Mafia members that are there with him, the ones that they know. This is an active Aryan Brotherhood organization member. Two scoops. He literally heard from the Mexican Mafia members that know about Dubs. They know about everybody, from the lowest soldier to the highest. I mean, obviously, short of being a member. And this dude just literally said that they know him as a debriefer. He went to this side. He's the debriefer. I already know he went to this side. I'm just saying. And I'm going to have another dude speak on some shit after this. Here we go.
And they know him very well, and he goes by Joker.
He goes by Joker.
He's an old homeboy, a friend of mine, who I won't say his name, but, you know, he's been back here a couple of times in the past 5 years. And just the last time, you know, he got jacked up off the main line when my friend got killed, man, and so they brought him back.
So, for anybody asking, I seen a comment and sorry for interrupting. Did somebody ask where he's at? La Represa is Folsom. It's Folsom. New Folsom to Sacramento. Represa is Old Folsom. So, if he called in and said Represa, that's Old Folsom. That's where he's at before he gets sent to ADX. Here we go.
Get a hold for it, and I talked to him about this dude. And he said, man, Scoops, I known that dude for I was on CR with that dude for many years, man. That dude's no good. He got validated and he debriefed, and what debriefing means, folks. And don't get it twisted. I don't care what anybody says, man. What debriefing means is they write an autobiography on their entire criminal career.
Yep.
And if they seen their mama smoking weed when they were kids or whatever they done in life, they're going to have to say it.
Everything.
They're going to have to rat on people. They're going to have to tell on people. Now, and if I had $1 for every time I heard a debriefer say, oh, I didn't snitch, I set parameters. They couldn't talk about this, and the other. I'd be a rich-ass wood.
Yep.
I'd be rich.
He is not lying. He is not lying.
So, but they were saying in the comments, right? And here's what confused me. I don't know. I'm not from California. First of all, they're saying I don't have no business speaking on this, right? I'm not speaking on this. This is school.
Well, you don't have no business, but I mean, you're interviewing somebody from Cali.
That's irrelevant. That's just me saying fuck them, right? Here's the question I have for you. Can you think of any way that a man could get validated as an associate of any one of those families and then leave the shoe without telling on people, without being working with the police? Like, is there some kind of
doesn't exist?
Other than
not before the Astor settlement. So they did have this thing called the Castillo settlement, which was a 6-year inactive status review. But if you lived around any other associates, that was getting shot down.
Yeah.
And
no.
You're not getting out of prison from the.
So the Castillo settlement that he's talking about, 6 years inactive. No, that doesn't apply to Dubs. I know for a fact, 100%, it doesn't. Yeah. Let's keep going, and now I'll explain as I go. That's why I wasn't stupid enough to get fucking validated. I never got plugged in specifically. I assisted several Mexican mafia members on the main line. Here we go.
And then after the Astor settlement, you could. But before the Astor settlement, absolutely not. And I'm going to tell you, there's somebody named Blue Devil who's slinging some paperwork out there with Doug's name on it. That's legit, according to Doug's big homeboy. The guy Doug's calls Leslie. Like I said, man, I don't know the guy. I watch some of his content myself.
Myself.
But I don't know this dude. I don't have an axe to grind against this dude.
You don't have an axe to grind against him, and I get that because anybody that's ever been validated, like I said, I know the algorithms as far as the validation process, the THU, the step-down program, and all that. It don't even matter who it is, but we know what it is. Like those of us that have been there, like we know what it takes for somebody that's been validated, what it takes for them to go to the other side. And that's what this dude is talking about when he says he doesn't know him. But he's speaking the truth as far as what the process is. Here we go.
I just met Ken Snow a few days ago, and he asked me about some of these dudes on YouTube, and I told him what we know. This is in California State Prison, folks. And
California.
I have an axe to grind on this dude. It ain't personal. I ain't got nothing to hate on the dude about. I've never met the dude. I just know the facts. I know the facts, and that's where I live.
And this, once again, this is coming from an active Aryan Brotherhood gang member. Legitimately, I know a lot of his brothers, or a few of his brothers, and he's on his way to ADX, still active. And he asked about Dubs because he has Joker from Santa Bruta. That's Joker from Santa Bruta. That's who Dubs is. He asked about him because he's there and he's known the señores, and this is what he was told. You know what I'm saying? So you don't got to take it from me. Take it from an active dude. And we still got more coming.
And he's living a lie and playing whack-a-mole every time a comment come up.
Whack-a-mole every time a comment.
Come up with his name on it. That's his lie. That's not my lie or y'all's lie to live. That's his lie to live. So said, man.
That's his lie to perpetrate, not to live, to perpetrate. Because him and Gunner keep perpetrating lies. Here we go.
I'm just gonna tell the truth and keep it real. You know, I'll probably continue listening to some of his shit. I don't give a fuck. I can't touch the dude. You know? It's like I'm in a prison cell, bro. He's free.
And we all look, we all know the truth, most of us on this channel, especially. But anybody coming in here that does that thinks that I'm hating on them, I'm just trying to speak the truth. And here's the truth. Whether you like me or not, it doesn't matter. That's why we're here. Because a lot of us know that, you know? So here we go.
So it's like I don't have a personal ask to Brian. Like it ain't like you stole my cookies or something.
Oh
Like,
shit!
but
You stole my fucking
all the
cookies.
folks right here say he's a debriefer. And that means he snitched on people.
Yeah.
So here's what you're so listen, what you don't even understand is there's other YouTubers out there also, right, that they're benefiting greatly by telling stories, current shit that happens, bro. Something can happen right now. They'll make a video about it without knowing any of the real true facts, profit off of it, and don't care if it's real or not. You know what I'm saying? And they
See, dog, there's active YouTubers
same
on
story.
on YouTube.
Yeah, they got validated. They left. They went to a 50-50 yard out of the hole and all this other shit. And at the time when they was locked up, that's before you're talking about these lawsuits right there, I do believe. So there, yeah, you've already said there's no way in hell they're telling the truth. None of them.
Right. No, that's crass, bro. That is straight bullshit right there, man. And the fact of the matter is, y'all gotta be careful, man. Y'all, the public, gotta be careful. That's all I'm saying, because I take offense when people are making money off the public with lies. I don't like that, man. I think that's wrong. I've never done nobody dirty. I've never hurt nobody. I ain't no snitch. I'm GP and I'm gonna be GP until the day I die, and then my soul gonna be GP.
At this point, you got no choice. You're a lifer.
And like, bro, I just went through a major RICO case. Major case. They were trying to ice me. They were trying to unalive me by death penalty in a federal level. And I never wavered. I didn't even blink an eye. Like, bring that motherfucker. Don't put this motherfucking acid in my veins. I'm going to the dirt. You're not gonna ice me, man. I'm not gonna waver. I'm not gonna sell my soul like these other cats snitch tubers have done for a couple
Snitch tubers.
It don't mean that much to me, man.
So, one thing I would say about me, a year and a half that I spent on D Yard in Kern Valley was a maze. You know, like all the gang members on there or whatever. I didn't join a gang and nothing like that. That's why, to me, it's like these fucking cats, Dubs and Gunner, talking about I'm a Green Lighter, keep talking shit. I'm a Packer fan, period. I put up my paperwork on my posts, things like that. It's bad enough that I went to the other side. You know what I'm saying? My homeboys know what's up. I never told on anybody, didn't get nobody. I spent 6 months in the hole. I wasn't validated. I was not validated. The sergeant, literally, IGI sergeant and a regular Dominguez sergeant, pulled me into my first hearing, my committee, and it's like, hey, look, you're law library worker. You're working in the law library. You know Popeye personally. You know all of them Mexican mafia members, and they knew everybody that I was calling up to the law library, from the upper yard to the lower yard, setting up meetings and everything. They knew that I was privy and hip to the skip. They knew that I knew at least some of it, but I knew all of it. But to them, it's like, you know, at least something. So that's why, even though I wasn't validated, they fucked with me. They're like, you know what? Unless you give us something or give us one cell phone, we're not going to let you go. They even threatened me, bro, for months. Squeaks from Colonia Chicas was there too. He came after. I was in the hole by myself. Everybody on that tier was active, and they kept calling me once a week to the office. Are you ready to tell us what we want to know? You ready to tell us what we want to know? Because they knew that there's no legal apparatus at the time. There's no legal apparatus or policy or anything for them to make me snitch because I wasn't validated. So that's why they were able to get away with fucking with me. 6 fucking months I spent in the hole, in APOD, in Kern Valley. And finally, when they threatened me to transfer me to SAT-F, back to SAT-F, to New Corcoran, where I spent 5 years there on the main line, on 180 there. When they said that shit to me, I was like, you know what? Go ahead, send me there. I'm gonna fucking sue the shit out of you. Because if you transfer me to a GP, that's what they said. You don't want to give a shit? You know what? You haven't shown us that you are really SNY yet. So we're just gonna transfer you to fucking a GP. I was like, go ahead, transfer me to a GP. Something happens to me, I already got on my people. I got on my lawyer. Did I have a lawyer? Fuck no, I have no lawyer. Did I have access to my people? Fuck no, I didn't. But I bluffed them out. I was like, no, fuck that. You send me there, I'm gonna sue the shit out of you. Even if I have to lose my life, fuck it. You guys are gonna get the lawsuit. The next week or two, boom, they transfer me to D Yard, the SNY. And footnote, everybody, so Kern Valley, A Yard and B Yard were active, C Yard and D Yard were not active. D Yard was the fuck up yard for all of California, 180 level 4 for all the gang members. They were sending all the gang members there. That was the fucking most dangerous yard. That was headquarters for the gang members on the SNY. C Yard was where all the fucking the SNY chirujos, trannies, and all that shit that were getting booted off of D Yard. The reason I say that is because the dudes that were on A and B Yard, they knew at any given time, D Yard was always going down. The yard was always down. Motherfuckers were always getting stabbed the fuck out of there. All these murders that you see in Kern Valley, they happen on D Yard, with the exception of a few. So a year and a half, I went over there and I rolled the dice and I survived and I paroled. Period. But they kept me 6 months in the hole because I didn't want to tell on nobody, bro. Period. And my homeboys know that. Everybody in my life knows that shit. And I stand by that shit 10 toes down, period. That's why you'll never hear no dirt coming from me. No paperwork, no nothing. Because I have my paperwork. The moment anybody tries to lie on me, I'll put the paperwork out. So here we go. Let's get to the last of this.
My integrity means more to me than anything.
I know
That's
right.
what I got to say about it. And whatever he creates, whatever he claps back on, I don't even care, man. I've never met the dude. I've never been at the same prison with the guy at the same time. I don't know the cat. I've never been in no incidents with the cat. I've never even met the cat in prison. Never been on a yard with him. So whatever he says, just understand he pissed off. And I get it. But, hey, man, that's your lie, bro. You the one living that lie. And you can't expect us not to do our job just because you committed fraud on the public. We're going to do our job, man. I'm here with they big homies, with they people, with their people. And they tell me he debriefed. He no good. He a lockup case, and he told on shit. That's all I know. So other than that, that's what I got to say, bro.
Yeah, check this out, Scoops.
So here we go. Pretty much that's all he has to say. I'm pretty sure he goes on to say other things. But yeah, basically that's what he's talking about. Obviously, lockup case, of course, they're never going to like me either because, you know, I went to this side. And the discrepancy that always follows me is that I wouldn't pick up a knife and kill my son. No, they wanted me to overdose my son. They wanted me to give him a hot shot. And it's crazy because obviously if they don't watch my channel, they're not going to know whether they're not going to know that. You know, but it's just crazy to me, man, because this dude fucking with Gunner and everything, and the truth is always going to come out. And the only reason why this dude, Dubs, even has an issue, from what I understand, he doesn't even live in this neighborhood. When he told me he was living in this neighborhood, unless he moved out, and that's the only thing that he had an issue with. You know what I'm saying? But You know, I ain't trying to get the dude killed or nothing. But you know, he wanted to talk on me. Well, you know, I'm gonna expose you. I don't need to talk on you and fucking call you a bitch and all that shit. I'm just gonna fucking sit here. People have been getting at me for a long ass time. But you want to sit there and disrespect me? Cool. I'm not gonna disrespect you. I'm just gonna speak the truth on you by way of other people. And I got another video coming too. Like I've been saying, somebody that was actually there with him on the SNY, and we're gonna go from there. All they ever had to do was be straight and forward, like I have been. Those of you that fuck with me, all you guys, from the moment I have in my first channel, that was the first video ever. Look, this is what happened. Boom. This is who I am. Boom. You know, I did all this. Bam, 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 bam. I wasn't gonna fucking give my sonny a hot shot, overdose him. I wasn't gonna do that. I knew that motherfucker since I was a kid, bro. What the fuck? That would have been an easy thing to do. Fuck that. I wasn't gonna do it. So all right, let's get it going. Let's go some music. Watch everybody leave.